Hey, Prop and Stats kids. Sorry about that. I thought you guys were calculus kids, but you're Prop and Stats. Welcome to week 6 Thursday with Dr. Callahan. So this is your WIMA blog. This is week 6 Thursday. Keep in mind your WIMA blog is due on week 9 Friday for 300 points. So if at any time you're still missing some of the WIMA blog questions, make sure you guys go to the YouTube channel and then catch up on that. You have approximately 28 videos, so keep that in mind. And if you're like, why 100 points? Well, if you think about it, you guys have 3 boxes a day. There are 5 days a week. So that's 15 boxes a week. Times that by 9, that's going to give you 135. Now, I'm only counting 100 boxes, so anything over 100 will be considered to be extra credit. So, and the extra 35 is to account for like a Monday holiday off or some other days or holidays or whatever. But anything over 100 will be considered to be extra credit, but you should have a minimum of 100 boxes there. All right, let's take a look at one of the questions here. This is a good distribution problem. You distribute the 4, distribute the -3, and then you go ahead and combine your like terms. So you combine the 4 in with the -3 in, and then 36 minus 6. So your answer in this case is going to be B as in boy. Make sure you guys are doing the practice problems for the homework. It should go on the back of your white packet for the homework template. When you turn in this Unit 2 packet, I will be checking that. Also, it is good to be able to practice with that. If you did not take the quiz yesterday in class or online, make sure you guys do that because it is going into your gradebook. All right, let's go ahead and take a look what we're doing today. Today, I'm going to start with 11.5, which is on empirical probability. I'm going to start on page 8. We're going to go over objective 9 and 10 on page 21. You will be doing a rolling a die activity, and you will have an extra worksheet. So if you're at home, you can go ahead and just either copy it down, print it, or you can go ahead and just write it down on a separate piece of paper. That's completely fine. Your homework tonight is 11.5, 2 to 6, evens, and number 18, make sure you guys go to the Google Doc week 6 Thursday to access your homework assignment. And as always, check Infinite Campus. It's usually updated every Wednesday. So this is a rolling die activity. So what you're going to do is you're going to have a die. If you don't have a die at home, that's okay. You can go ahead and make up some ideas. But if you're in my class, you'll be rolling a die. And after each roll, you will write down the number. So for the first event, if I were to roll a die right now, I will get a 5 and a 2. I don't know what this is. I would really like to have my PowerPoint back. What the heck is going on? Okay, so let's, all right, here we go. So a 5 and a 2. If I were to roll again, and you could put the sum as 7, roll it again. Let's say I got a 1 and a 3, my sum is a 4. Roll it again, I have a 2 and a 2, my sum is 4. And just keep going until you roll this 20 times. Okay? After you go ahead and do that, I want you to go ahead and answer the following question. List all the possible outcomes if you roll the first die. List all the possible outcomes if you roll the second die, and list all the possible outcomes if you roll 2 dice at the same time. After that, you're going to tell me exactly how many events when you roll the die that is greater than 12. Rolling the die 2 4s, the sum of the die being between 2 and 20, and you just count the number of events. Obviously, your total events is out of 20, so it can't be anything greater than 20 because you didn't roll the die more than 20 times. Rolling a 1 of 6 and then a 1 of 6 on the second, sum of being less than 4. And then when you guys are done with that, tell me what is the probability answering these questions here, and then answer the following questions right here. So once again, if you're at home with a virtual learning, make sure you guys just go ahead and write the question on a separate piece of paper. You can go ahead and turn it into me upon completing this assignment when you're back in class. All right, when you're done, watch this video, jot down 3 interesting facts. And this is for week 6, Thursday. This is an example of somebody's work that did a really fantastic job. So you can go and take a look at it. Don't copy it word for word, but go ahead and take a look at it. All right, so 11.5 is going to be on probability with fundamental counting principle, permutation, and combinations. So go ahead and read example 1. All right, so what is a probability? Well, your probability is always going to be in a form of a fraction, like this, with a bar, okay? It can also be in percentages because when you have a number on top, it's usually a small number, by a bigger number. When you divide it, it's going to be in the form of a decimal. When you move the decimal 2 spaces over to the right, you will get a percentage, okay? So your probability is always what you want, that's asking the question, over the overall choices, which is your total. And so in this first example, if you take a look at this, all of your choices of the 5 different bands will be 5 factorial. So then if you think about it, what is the probability that the Rolling Stone will perform 4th and the Beatle last? Well, if you think about all the possible choices, it's going to be 5 factorial, which is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So grab your calculators, multiply that out. What do you have? You should have 120 different possibilities. Okay, so then looking at this, the question is asking me for the probability of the Rolling Stone coming 4th and the Beatles last in the lineup. That means the top in the numerator has to be the number of permutations with Rolling Stones 4th and the Beatles last. So the bottom in the denominator is the total number of possible permutations. So in which case your possible permutation is 120. So your 120 goes in the bottom. But then I need to go ahead and figure out what my want is going to be. And my want is to have Rolling Stone 4th, Beatles last. So then let's take a look at this. So then when you have this, you have your first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So then if Rolling Stone is going to go in 4th place, Beatles is going to be in 5th, well, how many possibilities do you have above that? You have 3 different options. So it is going to be a 3 factorial with 3 times 2 times 1, which is going to give you a 6. And that is going to be your want. So how do you set this up? You have a 6 divided by 120, which is going to be reduced to 3 over 60, which is going to be reduced to 1 over 20. And if you plug that into the calculator, it is going to be 0.05 or just 5%. And that is your answer. Take a moment to kind of copy it down, soak it in, scratch your head to see if that makes sense. All right, go ahead and read example 2. It's on a lottery system. I know a lot of people like lottery scratch-offs and whatnot. Personally, for me, I think it's kind of a waste of time and money, but you know, some people are very, very dedicated to it, so good for them. Okay, so because the order of the 6th number does not matter, and the keyword means does not matter, the situation is going to be a combination. And since this is going to be our formula right here, it is also the total number of possible outcomes. So let's go ahead and plug it into the formula. You know your formula is n is always the bigger number, that's 53. R is going to be the smaller number, that's 6. It is always going to be n factorial over n minus r factorial times r factorial. So let's go ahead and plug this in. You know your n is 53, your r is 6, so 53 factorial divided by 53 minus 6 is going to give me a 47 factorial times our factorial, which is just 6 factorial. Now I want to extend this. I'm going to do 53 times 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47 factorial. And I'm going to stop at 47 because I have 47 factorial down here, and the two of them are going to cancel each other out. So there's no point in wasting my time and writing it 47 more times or 46 more times. But don't forget your 6 factorial. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and simplify this. So how do you go about simplifying it? Easiest way is to look at the numbers. Well, 48 divided by 6 is going to give me an 8 on top. And then I can see that 8 divided by 4 here is going to give me a 2 on top. 2 divided by 2 is just going to give me a 1. Now I have a 3. 51 divided by 3 is going to give me a 17. And then I have a 5 right here. 50 divided by 5 is going to give me a 10. Now I have just a 1 in the denominator, so your answer is 53 times 52 times 17 times 10 times 49. And once you go ahead and multiply that out, you are going to get this amazing, amazing number of 22,957,480. That is your chance at winning the lottery. So, is this a good chance? No, not really, because you're technically wasting your money. So it's actually a better idea to go to school and just get a education, because that, my friend, is going to be more reliable. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this question here. Go ahead and read it. So you're going to buy 5,000 tickets for $1 each. I don't know, that's $5,000 of an investment. What is the probability of you winning? Well, so this is a continuation from the last question. So your probability of winning is 1 out of 22,957,480. You're going to multiply that 5,000 tickets. So your chances of winning with a 5,000 ticket, and you're also out $5K, by the way, $5,000, is 5,000 over 22,957,480. So then if I divide that, what is the probability? My probability is going to be 0.00021778. So move it over by 2 decimals. Your chance of winning is 0.02178%. So your next question is, would you be expected them to win the main prize? Well, your percent chance of winning is going to be less than 1%. So I would say absolutely not. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at objective number 9. So Martha, Lee, Nancy, Paul, and Armando have been invited to a dinner party. They arrive randomly, and each person arrives at a different time. So in how many ways can they arrive? So first off, you're going to ask how many people are going to be invited to the party. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that will be a 5 factorial. So you just do 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. If you multiply that together, it's 120 different ways to arrive. B, in how many ways can Martha arrive first and Armando last? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the positions or places of arrival. So I know Martha wants to go first, and Armando wants to come last. I don't know, maybe their boyfriend and girlfriend, they don't want to come at the same time because they broke up, and so they have to avoid each other. So then what you have here is you have 3 more spots left. So that's going to be a 3 factorial, which is going to be 3 times 2 times 1, or 6. C. Find the probability that Martha will arrive first and Armando will arrive last. So with this probability of Martha arriving first, Armando arriving last, is going to be your want over your total or all choices. Well, your all choices we found in A is 120. And then your want we actually found in B, which is 6. So then my probability is 6 over 120, or 1 out of 20. And once you divide it, 0.05, or just 5%. All right, you guys, so we have concluded towards the end of our lesson. I want you guys to go ahead and do the following exit ticket. Or just kidding. No, I didn't. Sorry. You need to go ahead and work on objective number 7. Pause the video, get your answer. Okay, you ready for the answer? I'm going to go ahead and give that to you guys. So make sure you show your work. It doesn't do any good to simply just copy this without understanding how to get that. So make sure you guys do that. All right, your exit ticket is a message in a bottle. You just received a message in a bottle regarding today's lesson. What does it say? So copy that down somewhere in your white guided note, or you can use a stick note. If you do need to have more help on this topic, today we talked about probability with combination, permutation, and counting principle. So if you would require a little bit more assistance doing this, that is fine. There's actually many other videos out there that you guys can do this with, and so I'm just going to show you guys how to find this on YouTube. So I am going to simply copy that, the title that we talked about today, and I am going to go on to YouTube. And I'm going to go ahead and paste that here. My little boys and I, we share the same YouTube account. So no, I wasn't watching videos on Plant vs. Zombie 2. And so if you need additional assistance, I generally just type in the topic here. And then that pops up. You have a lot of other videos that you can go ahead and watch that kind of covers the same subject that we just talked about. But I'm also going to give you guys the tiny URL link, so that way you have that accessible and you can go ahead and use that. All right, well, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.